Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's information session for the Firefighter Paramedic Recruitment. My name is Jennifer Thames. I'm the Communications and Marketing Specialist for Strathcona County Emergency Services, and I'm going to be moderating today's session. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us and learn about this recruitment in each of the departments. There will be a Q&A portion at the end of the presentation, but feel free to ask your questions in the Q&A chat throughout, and they will be answered at the end. This session is being recorded and will be posted on our website, so you can share it or go and take a look back if you for reference. One thing is we'd like to get to know where you're joining us from, and if you have anybody else watching with you. So if you'd like, you can type your location and the number of people in the Q&A chat. And with that, I will turn our presentation over to our panel.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Angela Morin. I am a talent acquisition specialist in human resources with Strathcona County. The purpose of this virtual information session today is to provide you with important information on the recruitment process and share insight into a career in emergency services. We are proud to say that emergency services from Strathcona County, the City of St. Albert, and the City of Spruce Grove have joined efforts to conduct a regional recruitment campaign. So what does this mean for you? You can apply once and be considered for a position with all three municipalities. Before we get started, though, with the recruitment process, let's start with some introductions, starting with Spruce Grove.
Good afternoon, everybody. ADC Corey Klebanowski, City of Spruce Grove. And then we have ADC Robert Canal, ADC a training. And then we also have Rebecca Furry, HR for the City of Spruce Grove. Oh yeah, I forgot. We might have our union rep on as well. Justin Yager, I believe, is here as well. I just can't see him. I think I screwed that up enough. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Do you want to give us a little bit of information about working at Spruce Grove?
Well, yeah, absolutely. We're a relatively young department, started in 1954, moved into a combination department in 1980. Or combination department in 2004, integration. We have 56 suppression staff, 1 FPO, 10 enforcement officers. We have 3 chiefs, 4 admin staff, 1 station, 3 pumps, ALS equipped, 1 mechanical spare, a ladder, some bush trucks, 4 ambulances. We have an AHS contract that expires in 2023, and we're actively looking at negotiating a new contract further to that. Minimal staffing on each platoon is 12 with a max of 14 per shift, 4 platoons. Yeah, we respond to all fire incidents in the City of Spruce Grove. And we have a cardiac resuscitation rate that's doubled the Canadian average, so that's something we're very proud of here in the City of Spruce Grove. We maintain our fire and EMS skills daily and with daily and nightly training. Skills are maintained at the 1001 ACP and accreditation levels. We have a fire training facility that allows us and our regional partners for easy access for skill training and maintenance. We also have a knowledgeable group of practitioners that change in between EMS and fire from day to day. Things that Spruce Grove offers, we got great staff here. Our work schedule is like an industrial schedule. We don't work 4 on 4 off. We work 2 weekends a month, which means you get 2 weekends of that month off as well. We have a great relationship with our association. We have an in-class or in-house ACP program. We have a peer support program. We have variety of committees, equipment, apparatus, ambulance, and some other committees to move ideas forward throughout the organization. Currently, we're developing a 10-year master plan with leadership within our organization to move us forward, and what the service is going to look like from now and 10 years down the road. We do not have any specialty teams. We don't have a requirement or a need. We're a community that really services more like a bedroom community. We don't have any large industry like some of our other regional partners. But that doesn't mean that we don't look at that in the future as our community grows. And that's all I have for the city of Spruce Grove.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. And now to the city of St. Albert.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Vern Elliott here, Deputy Chief of Operations here in St. Albert, which is a small bedroom community nestled to the northwest of Edmonton, as you may or may not know. 68,000 is our population currently. We, as a fire department, we cover 67 square kilometers. We just annexed some land from Sturgeon County recently. So we have some wildland area out there. So we do wildland, of course. We do have 2 ambulances that we contract to Alberta Health Services, and just like Spruce Grove and Strathcona, we're looking forward to negotiating contracts coming up next year. We do have 3 stations located throughout the city. One of those stations is brand new. We're just moving into it. And then we have another station, Station 4, that is on the books for opening in 2024. In each of those stations, we do run an engine out of there, and of course only 2 ambulances, so only 2 stations have the ambulances. We do have 1 aerial apparatus. We also run rescue, so motor vehicle rescue and some slope rescue and some high angle and confined space, as well as water and ice rescue. We as far as other divisions go, we do have a training division that we increased by 100% this year. So we have two folks in there. We do have a fire prevention and public education branch where we have 2 individuals in that, and we run what I call a craft dispatchery, where we have 1 person sitting and we do our own dispatching. You know, as far as supports for our employees, we have peer support. We have a vehicle and equipment committee, training committee, along with a few other working groups that help our members and our administration work together to decide on what do we look like in the future, and making sure that what we're doing right now meets the requirements of our risk management directed from Mayor and Council. And with me today, I have our HR advisor, Sheena Honesty. I also have Ryan Beltuzin, who's one of our training officers, and I have our IAFF Local 2130 President, Greg Harvey. Looking forward to the conversation today and looking forward to meeting some of you as we go through this.
Great, thank you very much. And now Strathcona County.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. My name is Devin Kapkara. I'm the Deputy Chief of Operations at Strathcona County. With me today, I have one of our training officers, Lieutenant Matt Chafee. Also have a couple members of our IAFF Executive Board, President Elliot Davis and Treasurer Tyler Brady. Strathcona County is located on the east side of Edmonton. Our area of coverage stretches as far north, as far east as Elk Island Park and the Blackfoot Reserve. We go as far north as the intersection of Highway 830 and 38 by the Vinca Bridge, and as far south as Township Road 510, encompassing almost 1,200 square kilometers. Strathcona County is a major hub for petrochemical industry. However, we also have a large agricultural presence as well in our rural areas. We're a specialized municipality, again, serving both urban and rural residents, and we serve a population of just over 100,000 people. Like the other two departments, we are a fully integrated fire EMS organization operating out of 4 full-time stations, 3 within the hamlet of Sherwood Park and 1 in northern Strathcona County near the industrial heartland. We also have 2 part-time stations in our Dawson and South Cooking Lake. Our operations structure has 4 platoons. Each platoon is led by a platoon chief, and each of the stations is overseen by a captain supported by a lieutenant. Station staffing, in addition to those 2 assigned officers, range between 5 to 9 firefighters. However, over the last several years, we found ourselves at minimum staffing levels, far more than we should be, and this recruit class was approved specifically to start to address some of our staffing challenges that we've been having. We currently have 164 approved full-time firefighter positions, which equates to 41 firefighters assigned to each of the 4 platoons, again, including the folks who will be hired out of this recruitment. A career with Strathcona County will see you rotating close to equally between EMS and fire rescue assignments. We respond to over 10,000 EMS events per year with our 4 contracted ambulances and approximately 2,200 fire / rescue incidents. A day on the ambulance is typically very busy as you move throughout the region, providing emergency medical services to the residents of the capital or the Edmonton region. And a day assigned to a fire and rescue apparatus will see you responding to emergencies within Strathcona County, as well as working on fire and EMS related skills maintenance activities. I'd like to pass it over to Lieutenant Chafee at this time to talk a little bit more about some of the specific unique aspects of our department.
Hey there, thanks, Chief. I'm going to chat about a couple of the easy things that you get to kind of approach as you start a career with Strathcona County Emergency Services, namely our specialties, the way we train, and some of the other sort of supports and affiliates that we have available to us as members. So our specialty teams have 3 different divisions. We have a technical rescue team, a water rescue team, and a drone team. So the technical rescue team that gets sort of teased in being the concrete team are responsible for a lot of the high angle rescue, the collapse rescue domains, and confined space rescue. So if that's sort of an inclination you have coming through the door, as you work through your career, you'll be able to move into that particular kind of rescue. We have a water rescue team that handles our ice rescue, swift water, and searching for victims in our county. So I'm sure there are probably about a dozen of you right now listening to this that are already Red Cross certified, that are just itching for the chance to apply this in a different setting, and that's something that a lot of members have been able to do for quite a while. Our drone team actually uses remote drones to help us search for lost victims and also perform wildfire reconnaissance. So there's some opportunity there as well. Our on-shift training schedule is actually really busy. That's sort of where I come in. I'm one of our training lieutenants. We spend a lot of time focusing on maintaining our fire, rescue, and EMS skills. Day to day, we have a very rigid training calendar that gets built, and we expect our members to be able to perform at a high level for our community at all times. So we expect them to train at that level all the time. One of the programs that we do run that we talk about a lot is our medical simulation program. So one of the courses of your day-to-day activities showing up to work in Strathcona could be getting paged out for a simulated event where you respond to the pool and then resuscitate a pediatric mannequin on the side of the pool with a crowd of onlookers, which seems kind of intimidating right now listening to it, but it's actually a really good training event for our people. And there's a lot of good feedback on how much it prepares people to respond in real life. Some of the other things that we have for our members that have been really great to see, we have a formal honor guard. So when you see our members out marching in Remembrance Day or 9/11 ceremonies, you're looking at people that spend time drilling and learning how to perform these sort of ceremonial functions. We also have a newly started pipes and drums band. So if you're musically inclined, you can come and learn to play the drums. And if you're not musically inclined, you can learn to play the bagpipes. So there's a lot of sort of neat things that happen day to day, not necessarily related to the calls here. I think that's about all I really wanted to talk about there, Chief.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Does any region would like to add anything else at this point? No? Okay, well, thank you very much. So our panel will be available to answer your questions at the end of the presentation also. As you know, a career within a fully integrated fire and emergency medical service is exciting and fulfilling, a diverse and challenging career opportunity. Dedicated teams of emergency service professionals save lives and protect property by responding quickly and effectively. If you thrive on teamwork, want to help those in need, and have a desire to contribute to your community, we hope you consider applying. So let's review the recruitment process. Slide 4, please. So prior to applying, please take the time to review the information that is available to you on each municipality's firefighter recruitment webpage. As specific dates are confirmed for each phase of testing, that information will be updated on our sites. We are accepting applications until March 31st at 10 p.m. That's Alberta Mountain Standard Time. Please note that as you apply online, you will be brought to the City of St. Albert's recruitment page. The City of St. Albert will be collecting applications on behalf of the regional partners. Once you are ready to apply on any of the websites, you will need to answer some preliminary questions about your qualifications, then create or log into your account profile. You will be asked to upload 3 documents at the time of your application: your cover letter, your resume, and proof of registration with the Alberta College of Paramedics, if applicable, and we'll talk more about that. You will be asked to upload these as 3 separate documents. The recruitment process takes several months to complete. After the posting closes on March 31st, all applications will be screened for minimum requirements. Successful candidates will then be contacted to start the next steps. All communication regarding the competition, including invitations to testing, will be sent via email to the address used to create your applicant profile. Please check your email often, including junk or spam folders. There are 3 testing phases, so I'll go through those now. The Aptitude Test. This will occur mid-April. The Aptitude Test is a 2-hour online test that measures your understanding of oral comprehension, reading and written information, math and numerical skills, maps, diagrams, mechanical reasoning, teamwork, and public relations. You will be seated at a computer for this online test, and please note that you cannot use a calculator during the test, but you will have a paper and a pencil to scribble on. There is no cost to you for this exam. We cover the cost on your behalf. This testing will be held at one of our municipal facilities. If you pass this aptitude test, you will receive an email inviting you to the next step in the process, which is the physical fitness test at the University of Alberta. These will happen mid-May. The fitness test is conducted at the U of A campus. It is in your best interest to read in detail all of the information provided on the U of A Firefighter Fitness Testing webpage. They provide details on exactly what to expect during this test, how to prepare, the tips on how to ensure you are ready and able to be successful in the physical testing. Please note, each candidate is responsible for paying the cost of this test, which is around $378. You pay that fee when you are invited to register online for your test. And now I am pleased to have Michael Scarlett from the University of Alberta with us today to share more information about this phase of our process. Michael?
Hello. Just
Hi, Michael, you can go
let
ahead
my
now.
camera kick in. There we go. Hi, I'm just briefly going to outline what our piece is. I think it's been set up in a very good way. We run the physical aptitude test. The primary information you will need is on our website, but I think it's important to understand that I have and communicate with the human resources personnel and deputy chiefs as needed throughout a process so that our information is consistent. So that's often something to make sure. If there's anything inconsistent, that's one type of question and certainly can come to me. And then the other thing would be just questions about content. So a brief description of our test, if you've never done it before, it does take place at the University of Alberta. We conduct a couple well, up to 500 tests a year for various departments. And we have a long history with all 3 departments in this particular recruitment. But certainly within Alberta, we're probably the most widely used test. Our test does run in other locations, but that's sort of something else. When you arrive, the website has more detail, but you're checked in, where you're issued equipment, which is the fire protective ensemble, and you're given instructions about what's going to happen that day. It begins with a treadmill test, which sort of evaluates your capacity to do work. That test takes about 30 minutes, after which there's always a 1-hour break. After that 1-hour break, you complete 6 job-related tests, which are more about pushing and pulling and lifting and carrying. And the combination of all of those tests determines the result of the evaluation, which is a pass or a fail. So you have to pass each component to pass overall. And then we make sure that your vital signs kind of come back to normal. We return the gear that you were issued, and you're checked out and you go home. And then from the recruitment side, your results are passed directly to the department. So you receive a copy of your results and your overall outcome on that day, but then it's my responsibility to pass those along. And that's, again, sort of how we fit into these recruitments. And as is the case here, we're about phase 2. We're kind of in the middle of these processes. So you will be tested on the same day as other people in the same competition, up to about 10 tests a day. And there's time for questions at the end, and our website has a lot more information, but I think that probably covers most of the things that would come up.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Michael, for that information. So if you pass the physical test, you will receive an email inviting you to the next step in the testing process, which is the medical knowledge test. This will occur early June in St. Albert. Candidates will attend a half-day test, which includes an in-depth written exam, followed by a series of stations, typically 5 to 10 minutes each. You will rotate through these stations, providing clinical assessments to various scenarios, offering differential diagnosis and possible treatments. I'm now going to turn it over to Ryan Valthusen to provide more information on this portion of the testing. Ryan?
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'd like to speak a little bit more to the OSCE testing, OSCE being objective, structured clinical exams. And these are specific, like Angela was already talking about, looking at your problem solving skills, your clinical assessments, your professionalism. These tests are made to be very standardized. When they are objective and structured, we have the same set of rules that apply to everybody. We have the same evaluators for everybody. We have the same scenarios for everybody. And we're going to be taking you through all of those. And as you go through them, we have specific scores based for every sort of answer that you may hopefully have. And that way we can get a very standardized score for everybody and know how you all rank against each other. These sort of tests, they can be quite wide ranging. We've got the regular medical sort of scenarios where you can go hands-on with those. We have some where we kind of take a more approach to history taking, and we can even get into a little bit more of how your people skills are. Examples like this is potentially answering questions on if you have to deliver bad news to somebody. So all of these sort of different situations, you'll be put in all of these and assessed, you'll get a grade, and that will go towards you moving on to the next step. These tests will take place at PMA, which is in Northeast St. Albert. I do have a quick look at the address there for it. It's 265 Carlton Drive. It's not one of the more popular places of St. Albert, so just make sure you know where you're going and get there early. Other tips just for this is get some good rest the day before. There's a good chance you are not prepared for all the scenarios that we could potentially throw at you, so just having a clear mind is probably the best thing that you could possibly do coming into this. We often also want to just encourage people to make sure that they do act, and we know you will, but act as professional as you can as well. Act like this is a real situation, because we really are taking a close look at that. And Angela, that's what I've got for this section here. I'll pass it back to you.
Excellent. Thank you for that information, Ryan. After all the testing is complete, we will invite candidates to participate in the interview. We anticipate interviews to be mid-June. Successful candidates will meet with representatives from Strathcona County, the City of St. Albert, and the City of Spruce Grove. We hope to have in-person interviews in June, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to that time. The interviews will use behavioral-based interview questions. You are encouraged to prepare and practice for your interview. We expect complete and thorough responses to each question. The interview is also your opportunity to let us get to know you a bit better. Even if you think you are experienced at the interview process, practice. Hold mock interviews with your friends. Prepare for questions by thinking of specific examples that will best support your responses. Start writing down experiences you have had so they are top of mind when you are asked about situations in the interview. We all look forward to meeting you, and we want you to be successful in this process. After the interviews, conditional offers of employment should be extended by the end of June. In July, you would participate in the pre-employment medical assessment and drug screening. The medical assessment is a condition of employment. It is a general physical, ensuring candidates meet the requirements and physical demands of the job. And the anticipated start date is the end of August or early September of this year. Now, before we move on to the Q&A portion of this session, I'm going to pass it over to Sheena, who will review the qualifications and requirements. Sheena?
Hi, everyone. Yes, let's review those minimum qualifications and requirements specific to this year's competition. So these qualifications that I'll read out must be met on the day you submit your application, so no later than March 31st. First, you must be currently registered with the Alberta College of Paramedics as a registered Advanced Care Paramedic or a registered Primary Care Paramedic. As Angela's indicated, proof of registration should be uploaded at the time of application. You will also need to hold a Class 4 driver's license. A valid Class 3 driver's license and your air brake or Q endorsement is something that must be completed by your start date and is a condition of employment. Those qualifications will be provided, confirmation of those qualifications will be provided in the form of a driver's abstract, demonstrating a satisfactory record of 6 demerits or fewer. That driver's abstract, though, will be collected at a later date. Another minimum qualification is to be able to successfully obtain and maintain a vulnerable sector police information check. You must also have the ability to pass physical and medical standards, including eyesight and audible, as outlined in the NFPA standard. For this campaign, the following qualifications are preferred, but not mandatory. To have your NFPA 1001 certification, any emergency medical or fire response actual work experience, and any related certifications. I wanted to note for our out-of-province applicants, we do encourage you to apply if you have provisional registration with the Alberta College of Paramedics and are pursuing a labor mobility application. So you may be considered. The full registration with ACP will be required by the date of our interviews, which at this time is looking like mid-June. We also wanted to let you know that successful candidates will receive training for their NFPA 1001s, and depending on the hiring department, successful applicants who hold their PCP and NFPA 1001s may be given training to become a certified ACP. So far, I've received some inquiries from our current PCP students who are concluding their schooling and scheduled to write their copper tests in May. I'm sorry to report that unfortunately, you will not hold the minimum qualifications by the closing date of March 31st to qualify for this current competition. With growth and attrition among the 3 municipalities, we will hope to hold regular recruitment competitions that will offer you further opportunities to join our 3 municipalities in the coming years. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Sheena, for that information. And now we are going to open the floor to answer your questions.
Now I have to unmute. So thank you to our panel for your presentations. And we have had a few questions come in, but just to remind everybody that if you do have a question, to post it in the Q&A chat, and then we will get to them as we go. So the first question is for Spruce Grove in particular. They are wondering, how many positions are you looking to hire in Spruce Grove? As well, are you looking at running more than 2 ambulances at a time after the contract is up in 2023? So just looking to see who wants to take that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to ADC Canal for those responses.
Right. Currently, we're in negotiations to extend the contract we have for 2 ambulances. I guess never say never for a third, but that all depends on the approach that's taken for contract negotiations. Currently, right now, our department is hinging on sticking with 2. It's what we've worked well with at this point. Staff, currently we got up to 3 positions we're looking for. And the 1001 portion, of course, it dropped off, so that means an extension of our orientation time frame for most of the departments as well, just for everybody to be familiar. So
All right, sorry there, my connection seems to be a little bit slow. The next question we had, let me just scroll through here. If I am NFPA 1001 level 1 firefighter with medic first responder, but not a paramedic, can I apply? So just looking to the panel, who wants to?
Jennifer, I can chime in here.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sorry, if I understand the question correctly, I believe the individual holds their EMR certification currently, but not their PCP or ACP. Unfortunately, then no, that would not be deemed as minimally qualified for this year's competition.
Okay. Sorry, the next one, sorry, just scrolling down here. I know that firefighting has been trying to diverse itself over the last few years. How many women have been brought on with the integrated services over the years? And are any emergency medical responders ever taken on from the hiring process? Okay, I will.
So yes, the fire services have definitely attempted to diversify over the years. One of the big things that you have to look at is the fact that we have not changed our standards to diversify. We encourage people to prepare for the job. We go out and actively recruit and present the physicals and things like that so people can prepare for them. It's still a tough job, so we still have to maintain some bare minimums. Spruce Grove is running about, I think the last time we calculated, we're about 17% female in Spruce Grove. So we are, and the fire services continue to recruit and actively recruit. But again, we want to make sure we get the best people for the job. So the standards still have to be met, and our candidates still have to work towards meeting those standards.
Awesome. Robert, while you're still up, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions specific to you. Does Spruce Grove plan to expand their coverage region with additional stations in the near future?
So Spruce Grove's a kind of an anomaly. Our fire station is virtually not by anybody's design but luck. Our fire station is almost perfectly located in the center of our current response area, allowing us to hit our 322nd response guidelines. So right now there's no better place to put a fire station in Spruce Grove right now.
Awesome, thank you. One more question. Does Spruce Grove and Strathcona County have their own dispatching system?
Spruce Grove does not, Strathcona does.
All right. Thank you.
I can expand on that a little bit. Yeah, Strathcona County is a PSAP or public service answering point for the east, many of the areas east of Edmonton, and we do dispatch our own fire units as well as units for a number of contract clients within the region.
Okay, the next question is going to be for Michael with the U of A around some training. So Michael, I'll just get you to put your camera on.
Hi there. Am I coming through? Oh, there we go. Sorry, I also I can't see the Q&A chat. So
nope.
If I can have the question read, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't, but it's
you bet.
Loading.
Is the U of A currently offering training sessions for the fitness test?
So at this time, no, not like in-person training. We do have training information available on our website. So if you look under the sections, there's one that's a document which I call a training nudge. So it's trying to build on an existing habit of fitness, but yeah, push it towards the types of things that you're going to do on the test. Secondly, there are some videos which I prepared during the pandemic actually about how to train with very little and outdoors. That's again sort of this season. Not training outdoors is not accessible, but you can watch those videos and it's still very applicable to training. And I explain quite a bit about what we do. So there's no formal training sessions, but those are certainly two resources. And then you can always email us and ask specific questions, and if I can answer them, I will, in order to help you prepare. Something I would say is that even if you don't know the exact date of your test, or even if you don't know if you'll move from phase 1 to phase 2, at this point in time, you have 6 to 8 weeks. And typically for conditioning, physical conditioning to take hold, that's kind of the minimum window. So whatever regime, starting today, is preferable to waiting until you find out if you're moving on into the next phase. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you very much. Next question is, will there be a prep package for the aptitude testing? All right, we'll send Sheena live.
Yes, so there are prep materials that are offered. So the vendor who we work with for the aptitude test, they offer us a link that is available for a period of time. Anyone who is invited forward to that phase of the testing, then it's up to you to purchase those materials if you wish to do so. There's two things that you can purchase. One is just candidate prep materials. It's $5 to purchase those, or it was as of our last competition. There's also an opportunity to purchase a practice test to get a real feel for what it would be like, and those are $15 US. And again, we just kind of facilitate the opportunity to obtain those through the links, and then it's up to the candidate to decide if they wish to make that investment.
All right, so the next question is, I am in the process currently with another fire department in Alberta and have successfully completed the fire fit test. As this test comes with a larger cost, I am wondering if I would be able to use this as part of my candidate application for this year.
As a group, we agreed as long as the physical was less than 6 months old on the date of the posting closing, the results were less than 6 months old, we would accept them as a group. So you'll have to look at the date that you did your last physical. And it has to be less than 6 months old on March 31st. I believe that was what we all agreed to. So.
Awesome. In regards to the written exam, is the pass based on a bell curve or is there a solid 80% number? Can you, Angela?
It is a solid 80%. It is your actual mark that is provided to us.
Is there, while you're up, you may be able to answer this one. Is there a list of questions that will be asked during the interview process?
No, we don't provide the list of questions ahead of time, but they are behavioral-based interview questions that do focus on basic competency areas, teamwork, leadership. So you're encouraged to study and research some behavioral-based questions, but we will not be providing them ahead of time.
Will references be required for the application process?
Yes, we do conduct references for our successful candidates moving forward. That is part of our process, yes.
If there is a change in the contracts for EMS and there is no extension, will the recruits be relieved or is there flexibility to be moved to the fire apparatus full-time? Okay, DC Cap Kara, I will send you live.
Our intent when we hire folks is to keep our folks here. There would be no intent to lay folks off if that changed. Our focus would adjust in a different direction, and we would keep those folks employed.
Okay. Have your departments been involved with the ongoing hours of work project that is currently reshaping the central zone deployment of ambulances?
We've been indirectly involved. None of our departments have been directly affected by the hours of work projects, but some of our neighboring communities who do work core flex time have been looked at or been a focus of that project. But at this time, these three organizations have not been directly involved with the hours of work project.
Did anyone else want to add to a question? We're good.
Sorry to interrupt. Verdon does have his hand up to add into that question.
There we go.
Yeah, just going back to the contract question. Yeah, St. Albert, I think we're all in the same boat as Strathcona and Spruce Grove, that we hire for a career. And as we move forward with those contracts, the intent is to stay integrated first and foremost. If there's a change in direction, you know, that's a different conversation that happens with our mayors and councils. And but we would be advocating to keep status quo, but there's other forces at work there. So just wanted to put that out there. Thanks.
And go ahead, Elliot.
Yeah, thanks everybody. I just wanted to add a remark to the question about losing the ambulance contract. I mean, in Strathcona, as Chief Cap Kara mentioned, we're fortunate in that we don't. That's not our philosophy in hiring. We also have on the books a new station being built with that we will need to begin hiring for as well. To add to the necessity to keep our staff around, and also know that should in Strathcona, which is the only people I can speak for, but should we lose the ambulance contract, it's not as simple as, well, we must do layoffs. There's a certain labor relations work that has to get done, and that's my job to represent you in that regard, which I would do fully.
All right, so the next question I have is, as a current ACP student who is in their second year, would I be tested as an ACP if I am successful in the first few aspects of the hiring process? I'm looking to our panel. Oh, okay.
As he hasn't successfully completed his ACP at the time, depending at the final decision to bring him forward, he would probably be tested at the OSCE as a PCP.
Okay, so this one, can the departments please elaborate on the statement about applications that have their PCP and NFPA 1001 will be given training to become a certified advanced care paramedic? Go ahead.
So for Spruce Grove, sorry, slip of the tongue there. For Spruce Grove, we do have a mandatory completion of your ACP as part of your hiring. So just to make, if you're not interested in your ACP, then unfortunately Spruce Grove may not be a choice for you. That being said, we do have an in-house paramedic program to make it easier for you to become an ACP. Hopefully that telling you right up front helps you make the decision which department you're interested in as well. But we do have a contract that you have to complete your ACP in 5 years.
And from St. Albert?
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, with St. Albert, we've augmented our training program for the ACP. Members apply and we send them off to school of their choice and provide supports for them financially and with some timing so that the person can focus on their schooling. So that's what we offer. It's not mandatory.
And from Strathcona?
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, in Strathcona County, we annually put out an expression of interest for those who would like to upgrade from PCP to ACP. Members are selected based on the expression of interest, and we look at our ratio of PCPs to ACPs. As people move through their careers, we try to target having firefighters, the right number of firefighters with the PCP status, the right ratio of PCP to ACPs, and we send people to school to maintain that ratio. Supported by the department, the program, we are currently partnering with Spruce Grove, and members would be doing a combination of time on the floor and time in school with you know, that the cumulative time adding up to equal their hours of their regular hours at work.
Okay, so this one is kind of similar to the last one. Will successful PCP candidates without their NFPA 1001s also be able to expand their training to ACP status, or just PCPs with the NFPA 1001s?
So I can go first, Jen. In Strathcona County, yes, all folks are given equal opportunity. Again, expression of interest every year, and then chosen to go based on need.
And from St. Albert?
Thanks, Jen. Yeah, same in St. Albert. You would, there's no discretion when it comes to what level of training you have. Of course, you get your 1001s as a PCP, and then if you put in your expression of interest and you're selected, then you're given that opportunity the same.
And from Spruce Grove.
Just again, we do have to complete ACP. So if you're looking for the opportunity to become an ACP, you will have to complete ACP training with the city of Spruce Grove. So it is part of your employment contract with us.
If a candidate has their 1001 and PCP, how long does it take to train them to become an advanced care paramedic?
The program that we run in-house that we share with currently share with Strathcona, it's a little shorter than going through some of the other programs. It takes about 20 months from start to finish if everything goes well. So.
Okay. Next question is, have any departments ever hired or taken on an applicant who has had the emergency medical responder and not the PCP or the ACP?
Sorry about that. I didn't see it go red. In the past, we have had a department in the Tri-region that attempted it. It didn't work out very well, so we haven't attempted it again. So it's just, unfortunately, it's just too big of a chance to take to go from the EMR to from EMR to PCP. There's a lot of time and effort and stuff that's involved in it, so it hasn't been something that we've regularly done, no.
And maybe this question I will I'll ask for each of the departments if they want to respond. So once you train a firefighter to become an advanced care paramedic, do they have to be with the department for a certain amount of years of it in exchange for the training? So we'll start with St. Albert.
Sorry, can you read the question again?
Yeah, you bet. If so once you train a firefighter to become an advanced care paramedic, do they have to be with the department for a certain amount of years in exchange for that training?
Yeah, St. Albert, you're required to sign on. Currently, we've just made some adjustments. I believe it was 4 years for a service provision.
Okay, and from Spruce Grove?
We do have it as part of the letter of agreement. There is some time frame in there that there can be an agreement made between the employee and the employer if they choose to leave early.
And from Strathcona?
Strathcona County has not asked its members to sign service agreements.
Okay, this question is around the fit test. It has been mentioned that there is a 6-month expiry for the physical testing. What is the cutoff date for this process? Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, as Chief Canal mentioned, it is 6 months from when this posting went out. So March 1st, prior to that, 6 months prior.
All right, and the last question that I have so far. So if you do have any more questions, make sure that you are putting them in the Q&A chat. Otherwise, this will be the last one. If you require the training for your NFPA 1001s when getting hired on, how long is the process of obtaining the 1001s, and how would that look with working within the service while waiting to be certified? Go ahead.
Right. So we have had it down as a minimum requirement. If you do have your 1001, you just won't have to do the rewritten testing processes with Spruce Grove. I can't say for some of the other regional partners, but what you will have to do is you'll have to spend a couple of weeks longer in orientation to allow everybody that's in the process to get to the same level. We have found some of the 1001 programs are very weak on practical skills. So really some of the folks that come with 1001, we end up having to work a lot harder with anyhow to get their practical skills up to the level that they should be. So just 1001 doesn't always mean that you're all set. Our orientation means that you're all set when we're done our orientation.
And from St. Albert.
Yeah, just a further answer to that. When you do get hired on, we take you immediately into training. So the first few months that you actually spend here, you're going to be on training. So you're not necessarily working the floor at the same time. You're going to be in training, and that's going to take you a few months to complete.
All right, we've had a couple more questions come in. Being trained as an ACP, does that increase your pay after the training is complete? Go ahead, Spruce Grove.
Currently, right now, you're hired as a firefighter and you follow the firefighter pay scale. That's the collective agreement that we have in Spruce Grove.
Okay, just looking for anyone else to answer that one. Oh,
I was going to see if President Davis wanted to answer, or.
Although
I'm happy to jump in there, Jen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey guys, Tyler in Strathcona. Yeah, similar to those other guys in Strathcona, our pay rates and our collective agreement are based on firefighter levels and years of service, not on the EMS side of the job. So the answer is no, our ACPs and PCPs are the same, are paid the same.
All right, and our final question is, how long from the date of hire are recruits expected to be independently on the floor? So I will ask each of the departments to answer that one. We'll start with Spruce Grove.
As said before, you will go through an orientation, which will give you the skills to be comfortable on the floor. During your first year, you will be assigned a mentor. That mentor will work with you to identify your levels and competence throughout the year. And our goal is to have you to be working as an individual by the end of the first year on the fire side. Hopefully working on the team on the ambulance a little sooner than that. Probably within your first 3 or 4 months, you'll be working as an individual on the ACP, PCP side.
Okay, and from Strathcona, Matt, if you want to turn your camera on. There we go. Oh, you're just muted though.
Our orientation period is 12 weeks long, so we do a 12-week sort of in-class retraining of most of the skills, medical and fire and rescue, that you would need to hit the floor from your 12 weeks on. Then you're on your probationary period, much like Spruce Grove, where you're assigned to a mentor who's responsible for checking your competencies along the way. So you're looking at 3 months until you're actually operating.
Okay, and from St. Albert, just looking to see who is on deck to answer that one.
It's Ryan.
Okay, I'm just waiting for Ryan to turn on his camera and then I can send you live.
I should be on.
Yep, you're good.
There we go. Just way down the list there. No, we're not too much different from the other services. We've got, 3 months of training, and then you go through a mentoring process both on the ambulance and on the fire truck. You're integrated right into the crews after you've completed your orientation and training.
All right, and that was all of the questions that we had. I'm just going to circle back to see if any of our panels wanted to have any closing comments, and we will start with St. Albert.
Thanks, Jen. And once again, thanks to everybody for attending. The one point I want to make that we see consistently every year is lack of preparation. So I will promote preparation. As soon as you've got your information into us as part of your application, you should be preparing for each of the phases. You should be looking at the aptitude. You saw questions about the aptitude test, prepping for that, where we see a fair bit of I'll say not successful is in the physical. You have the information in front of you. There's a lot of great information that Michael Scarlett and his crew have put out there. Review that and train. The job of a firefighter is critical to work as an individual, but also as a team. It's your responsibility to show us what you're made of in getting through these phases successfly. Because it might be at the end of the day that you can't leave anybody behind. And you have to go out and do that job. So we want to make sure that you are prepared. So that's why I want to ask. Thank you.
All right, and Spruce Grove.
Just to add to DC Elliott's commitment, research, preparation, and attitude. Come with it all. You'll be fine.
And from Strathcona.
I just wanted to hop on and say thank you for your interest in these three really great, really progressive fire services. The integrated model is something that everybody on this panel has worked with, directly in, and I can say from experience that no regrets going through a career in an integrated fire EMS service. So I encourage you, as the others said, to do your best to prepare, and we look forward to welcoming you to our departments.
Well, thanks everybody, and that wraps up our virtual information session today. Thank you for taking the time to join us today and gather information. We look forward to seeing your applications, and this video has been recorded, will be posted on the website, so should you like to visit it again, you certainly can for more information, but we look forward to receiving your applications, and just a reminder, the deadline is March 31st. Thank you very much.